Hello, I'm Maria Palet, and I will explain you two kind of negotiation skills. We're talking about negotiation skills. I've decided to talk about communication skills and body language and emotional control. In order to do this research, my bibliography lies in this book, which is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, which is one of the most groundbreaking guidebooks of all time. Also, I've taken this book, I already read it, which is The Psychology of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini, and I've taken some insights from this. But the one that I've considered like most important for my research is this one, that it's called The Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. And this one has taken me like really good insights, which I will explain you. And in fact, Jordan Belfort invented the straight line system, which is a system that is used around the world, and it can be used for every negotiation or every salesperson, or you can find even this system inside like daily activities or daily encounters with people. So when we talk about communication skills, and taking, of course, regarding the insights of Jordan Belfort, we first, of course, have to take into account 5 core elements. These 5 core elements talk about how every sale is the same, and how before you start speaking with the other person, which I will talk about prospects. So the person that we are trying to sell to, this person will be our prospect. So when we're talking about the prospect, we first have to take into account the certainty level that this prospect have about the idea that we are proposing, or the product that we are selling. We have to take into account 3 kinds of certainty. Our prospect have to be certain about our product, the idea or that concept that we are selling. So they must be absolutely certain that they love the idea of the partnership that we are trying to sell, or the product. They have to be certain about you. They have to trust you. They have to connect with you. And so, do they think you're a likable person, that you're trustworthy? A person who will put the customer's needs all the time first. That would be a 10 of certainty out of the scale. And of course, the third aspect or asset when we talk about certainty is that they have to be certain about your company, the company that you're representing. The prospect must connect with your company. You don't have to have a bad reputation, because then it will directly perpetrate in your sale. So now I will talk about more communication skills. For instance, I really found a research which was really interesting, talking about the four first seconds. You want to get into people get interested in your product or in your idea. You have to be sharp as a shark, which means that you have to demonstrate that you're a born problem solver who is definitely worth listening to, and you will you will try to help them achieve their goals. You have to be enthusiastic as hell, which means that you must sound upbeat, you must sound enthusiastic and full of energy in order to have a positive influence on the other person. And you have to demonstrate that you're an expert in your file. You need to demonstrate a highly competent, ultra knowledgeable professional, by coming off as a world-class expert in your file. When you have achieved this in these 4 or 5 seconds, and this person hasn't get bored or whatever, then you have to show you're worth listening to. How you will show that? You will get to the point quickly. You won't waste people's time. You will have a solution to every problem that they get to you, and of course you will be an asset to them over the long term. According to Jordan Belfort, 45% of the communication it's about the tonality voice that you use, and the other 45% it's the body language that you use, and the 10% that it's resting, these are words. Words are really important, but 90% of the time we are communicating without speaking. So that's why the most important things are tonality and body language. When we talk about tonalities, I found really interesting an article and by Jordan Belfort precisely, but he talked about different tonalities which are effective. Here's one of these ones is the I care tonality. How do you produce this idea? It's when you, for instance, you call a person and you say, "Oh, I'm Maria Palet from Blanquer University. How are you?" You demonstrate that, of course, you won't, maybe like I'm calling from a place that wants to sell something. It's not the case, but whatever. And then you just put a question right there in which you don't talk about the negotiation or you don't talk about the product that you're selling, but you actually care about the person. I think that's really interesting. Another one is a scarcity tonality. He called three scarcities. There's verbal scarcity, which is when you try to it's not a lie, but you say, for instance, you're like a salesperson from Mercedes, and you say, there's just one black car left in our enterprise, so you should get quickly and buy it because there's one left, so that you demonstrate that there's a lack of a product. Then there's also, of course, the informational scarcity, that it's you give pieces of information but very little in order for the other person to feel more intrigued. And also there's a tonal scarcity, that it's when you use a power whisper in order to intensify the interesting part of the conversation. When we talk about body language, we have to take into account everything, from the way you look, from the dress that you're wearing or whatever you're wearing, the hair, the pearls or the jewelry that you're wearing, everything. Another thing about this is a more advanced body language, but it's also about spatial awareness. I really found interesting this article that talks about how men, and if you confront a man and you're a man, you have to be to do a cornering off, which is not standing behind front of him, but side to side. Also, if you are a woman, you also have to do the same. But if you are woman and man, women prefer men standing in front of them and then confront each other face to face. Also, when we talk about body language, what is really important is shaking hands. It has to be a cooperative and neutral manner. There's of course eye contact. The article said that if you don't do eye contact 72% of the time, people won't trust you. You won't have an active listener, and that will be the deal will go off. And also, of course, the position of your arms. If you're crossing your arms, people might feel that you're close to ideas. And of course, there's the active listening, like demonstrating that you're listening, and the art of matching. It's essentially adopting the same physiology as your prospect to slide into rapport with them, for them to feel identified with you and feel that they like you. It's not mirroring the other, it's not copying everything that he does, but it's it's copying it, but in a more natural way. So when we talk about state management and emotional control, the most important thing is that on a salesperson is that you have to be able to be in empowered state all the time, and you have to find ways. For instance, Jordan Belfort talks about the olfactory anchoring, which is he invented that from a smell, if he smelled a kind of particular smell, he would then get into an empowered state. How did he achieve that? So basically, every time that he had a good sale and he had won a lot of money, he put this smell, and so every time that he connects this smell with a successful deal, a successful negotiation. So when he is feeling down and he has to negotiate, he first puts this smell on him, and this gets him into the state that he wants. And I would end up by saying that it has to be a goal-oriented communication, which is that you have every word you say and every word that comes through your mouth, it's focused on achieving a specific goal. And also you have to, this goal will be also to increase the level of certainty of our prospects. And of course you have to control your body language, your tonality, before you speak, and then control your words. And your state management all the time. So here's my end of the presentation.